welcome everybody. So for this live stream, I'm actually titling this live stream that I am wrapping up a creative point in my life for a new one. And that is simply to do this. There's a box behind me. This is a large H-frame easel. And I am going to put away my French easel, this French easel right here that I've been using for the majority of my paintings. What I've realized is that, this easel goes up to about 36 inches if I go, do like portraits and things. And, I've realized that as I paint more, I want to do bigger paintings. And, just this easel is amazing for travel. This French easel that I usually use is amazing for travel. It's amazing for, if you go paint outdoors, plein air, classic French easel, right? That's what it was all made for. But I've decided that I wanted to really up that game of the game of painting by getting a very large H-frame easel, which I have down here. So this is going to be a setup video for my H-frame easel, but I'm also going to, use part of it to take all this down and break this French easel down. So let's go ahead and get started doing that. But ultimately, this is a setup video, to set up the French easel. So So what's great about this French easel that I have here? This French easel is that I can put all my supplies on it. So I have my oils, my paints, my brushes, all of those things I could just fit onto this easel. Really nice and easy. And you know what? I will miss that. I'm not going to have that with the H-frame easel, but the H-frame easel is going to allow me to paint bigger and larger things. So I'm excited for that. And another great thing, this is also going to work out because I have a great commission tomorrow that I'm going to need to go paint on plein air, on location. So with that, it requires me to put some of my stuff away anyway. And so I should probably just leave some of these paints in here. I don't know yet. Let me see. You know what? I should leave some of these paints in here. I can leave some of these paints in here. I don't know if I'm going to paint right. What should I do with all these paints? Yeah, let's put them away for now. Just close this up. Close up this easel. Put some of these paints away. So let's see. You know what? I can actually. Let's go ahead and break this easel down, shall we? So I'm going to need to break it down for tomorrow anyway. So this will be great. Let's see, let's break down this easel. I don't usually do easel breakdown videos, but here we go. So this French easel has lasted a good like 200 or 300 paintings, 200 or 300, like ranging from very tiny paintings that take like 5 minutes, to 1 hour to like 24 by 36 inch paintings. So this easel has really lasted. I mean, I'm still gonna keep it. The only thing is like when you start to really paint a lot, it gets into these grooves and you can't really plug panels in anymore, which is fine. But paint really gets stuck into the wood, and it starts to lose some of the gaps. But that's fine. That's not a big deal at all. But I'm still gonna use this easel for outdoor painting. It's just as far as my in studio. In my apartment studio, as far as in studio goes, this is I'm going to be wrapping this up and swapping it out. Now, because of the size of my apartment, I can't have both at the same time, unfortunately. I have to have one or the other, which means I need to wrap up this French easel, which is absolutely amazing. It does so much in one place, and I need to wrap up this French easel so that I can set up my big H-frame easel. And the H-frame easel, even though it's a little bigger and I have a tight space, I think it'll work out because the one thing about the French easel is it has like all these legs. So if you see these, it has these 3 legs, and these 3 legs, although they don't take up individually, they're very thin, but together they actually you know, they can take up a lot of space. But I seem to have lost my bolt here. Okay, so there's a bolt that goes in here that always seems to often fall out. Let me get this bolt situated before I start taking this down. Even though I'm going to take it down, it's nice to have everything where they're supposed to be. Let's see, where's that hole? Here we go. Is that? There we go. Ah, there we go. Okay, cool. So, you know, how do you take down a Frenchie? So pretty easy. In case anyone's thinking about buying one, you know, you pop open these two legs right here. I don't know if you could necessarily see, but you unscrew and then you raise it all the way to the top where it locks. French easels are great, by the way. They're great for like going out and painting, but I think even in a home space, they're very great for smaller places. Like, you know, say you know you're painting in a studio, in a smaller studio space, a much more condensed, let's just say condensed studio space. It can come in very handy. And you pop the leg up, nice and easy. So you pop that leg up, and you just screw it back in. On this side, I'll demonstrate with this other side of the leg too. So here's where it could get a little tricky. Here's where it gets a little tricky is, you know, when you have the second leg here, what you're gonna have to do is you gotta like hold on to the easel here. Some of the rubber has come apart. Actually, you know what? I might be due for a new one. So this easel has lasted me about 3 years and like 300 paintings, probably over 1,000 hours of painting. Yeah, literally over 1,000 hours of painting, documented painting. I probably have quite a bit more than 1,000 of undocumented paint use of this. But this is, you know, any tool that lasts for 1,000 hours of use, I think is pretty good. So this French easel has done a good job. I do plan on buying a new one eventually, but for now, I'm just gonna hold on to this one. But you plan on buying another French easel. You know, I've probably gone in plein air maybe a few dozen times, but this is in my apartment. It's constantly getting like kicked and moved. So that's one reason why probably has had some survival issues. But here we go. So I got to pack up this easel in order to start building the new one, the major French easel here. Let's see. So we're gonna pop this up, open this. So pretty easy, as you can see. Now you do the central leg, and then here we go. We do the central leg here. Pop that open. And there's this one screw that always seems to fall out, and I don't know whether I lost the screw, and therefore that's why it's having its issues. But let's see. How does this one work? Okay. All right, let's see, where's this go? All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, so we've got our easel ready. So I actually have to use this tomorrow. So we're not totally wrapping up everything. We're not quitting painting or anything. We're just wrapping things up for a little while with this, at least in the apartment. Still gonna use this for outdoor. In fact, I might even buy a new one soon. But they're not too expensive as far as like well-made quality products go. You know, French easel is pretty affordable, especially if you need especially if you're limited on studio space. But here we go. Let's put this to the side. I need this for painting tomorrow. So let's go ahead and put this right here. Let's go build this other easel here. What's up, Dave? Artsy AF, buddy. Thank you. Let me go ahead and push this to the side. All my paintbrushes. We're going to set this up. Let's see how easy it is to set this thing up here. So here's my cat. Can you see Scout? Hey, Scout, what's up, man? Say hello to the world, bud. No. Just trying to run away. Here we go. All right, so let's pop open some of our easel and see, you know, what it's all about. So this easel is extra large. It's the median version, median extra large easel. Excuse me. We're gonna take a look at the dimensions. So this weighs 55 pounds. So this is definitely not an easy thing to pick up. It's actually quite heavy. But 55 pounds, and you know, you're definitely looking to need some help to get at least this into your apartment, depending on where your apartment is located. But let's start seeing what the most obvious way. I don't have any extra tools, so this is pretty spontaneous as far as how we're going to be building this. I don't know what it's going to take, but it looks like there's an open slot right here. So let's start with that. Let's start with the place, the way that it's supposed to open. Let's go. There we go. Go all the way down. All the way down. All right, getting the cardboard done. All right, cool, very good. So that's for step one. Let's maybe slide this under the couch and maybe hope that it stays there. Let's see what's next. Does this pop over? You know what? Let's not worry too much about it. Here we go. Cats love boxes. Whew. If you have a cat, probably loves boxes. All right, so we got our instruction booklet. Let's look at how many pieces are in here. Got a few dozen pieces. Is this box blocking the view? Yeah, it's blocking the view a little bit. Let me see. How do we open this? I'm not using any fancy tools or anything. And by fancy, I mean the most basic tools you could possibly imagine, hammers or screwdrivers or anything. I'm just gonna kind of go into this and see, you know, if anything's needed. We'll find out. If nothing's needed, then great. We're going to be fine. So let's see if I can bring this down. No, just take them off. So I actually have a tape cutter, but for not having to go get any tools or anything. Let's just rip this box. Amazon, we're not gonna even though Amazon has a generous return policy, I don't plan on returning this unless there's like something so technically wrong with this. I don't plan on returning it. So let's go ahead and jump into this and see what's going on. We're gonna go into the instructions here. So there's a warranty from authorized dealers. There's a lifetime warranty. It says that they will replace any part from any median easel or desk that proves defective with normal use within the lifetime of the original owner. Wow, that's like a lifetime warranty if there's a defect. So that's pretty cool. That's the one thing about warranties is I've actually never tested out a lifetime warranty. I don't know who else has ever used a lifetime warranty, but usually pretty much, like if you have an issue with something and someone says they have a lifetime warranty, they usually take care of you. I should do that with my easel and see if they'll give me a replacement bolt for that leg. But anyways, let's go ahead and see where the instructions are. Lifetime warranty, fantastic. But it says limited lifetime warranty. It does not cover any problem that is caused by conditions, malfunctions, or damage not resulting from defects in material or workmanship. To obtain warranty service, you must first contact. I have to check out what the warranty is on my French easel, but I'm just going to assume that we have all the supplies. So here's the list of items that are in here. Oh, I need the nuts and the bolts and all the screws and stuff. So let me see if I can separate the screws and everything. So let's take a look at the quality of the wood, the workmanship here, right from the get-go. So we're going to use this as our main as our key thing, right? Quality of the wood. We'll take a closer look at the quality of the wood later. So here we go. Meeden. This is Meeden's easel here. And you can see the wood looks actually pretty good, right? It looks very well. I mean, I'm not like a wood expert. I'm not a carpenter. I'm not, I don't dabble in fine woodmanship, woodworking. But I mean, to me, it looks great. It looks high quality. It feels heavy duty. It doesn't feel cheap. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is a great example and a great example of what I can expect from the rest of this. So let's go ahead and get started here. Let's see what happens. It'll be as much of a surprise to you as it is to me. So let's see. We got all the pieces. I still need to find all the nuts and bolts. So here's what the instruction booklet looks like. Pretty straightforward. Anybody who's ever used an instruction booklet will see, will get it, right? Warranty in the front, all the pieces, all the little nuts and bolts, and obviously the steps. So, all that, right? So usually I just go step by step. This video is more for fun and building this. Yeah, if only I could find our... Only I could find what we're going to lift some of these. Put some of these up here. We're going to lift more. Because I have a feeling I'm going to be on my feet. Oops. I have a feeling I'm going to be on my feet quite a lot. On and off my feet, so it'd be nice to just have this set up here. And then I want to get rid of this box. Oh my goodness. Woo! Look at this. Look at all these little tools that we get. You get screwdrivers. That's a lot of nuts and bolts that we're going to be working with. So this might take a little while. Here's a funny thing. One of my people ask me when I in Los Angeles, like, what are some of my favorite things to do? And I'm like, I like to go to IKEA because I like to build little things that have instructions on them. It's not like a passion of mine. I'm not more passionate about that than painting, but I actually like IKEA stores. Even if I don't buy anything, I like to just walk around IKEA and just like see what they got going on. I know it's weird. It's just like, why do people like to go to Disney? I like to go to IKEA. I don't like to go to IKEA more than Disney, but on an average day, I'm like, I pass by an IKEA store. I'm like, oh, let's have a little adventure. Let's go get some Swedish meatballs. But anyway, this is not IKEA. This is Meeden. But anyway, here's this looks like some of the bolts that go into the stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna go through every single one of these. I barely even know like the names of 3 different types of wrenches. So I can't possibly name all these things. I just go by the image instructions. So let's go ahead and get started. But one great thing, they're labeled by letter, which I think the letters help us to identify what part they are. B, this one has a B on it. This one's got a B, so helps us identify the parts. Let's go ahead and get our stuff down. Pookie, are you just gonna be here all night next to me? You're just gonna be here the whole time? If you talk to your cats like a real person, I think they eventually learn English. Because I swear my cats know some English. Alright, I don't think I'm gonna need this. This might just get in the way, so let's get rid of this box and let the cats play with it elsewhere. Let's see. For now, I'm just gonna leave this box around. Fun story, Amazon boxes. Amazon boxes have saved me a lot of time. I love Amazon. And I think I would credit Amazon for helping fuel my creative efforts. Because although I shop like in person in some stores, I probably shop more for supplies on Amazon than anywhere else. And you know what? They send you everything you need. Like they just send it direct to your door. It's like the closest thing to teleportation. I live I live in an area where I get like sometimes overnight shipping and same day shipping, and it's really, really amazing. So anyways, shout out to Amazon. But anyway, and then I get to like just do stuff like this, right? Like I get to just make this live stream on Amazon, and you know, I get to just like live and make stuff about living. Anyway, here we go. So let's go ahead and take a look at this and try to figure out step one here. So step one. All right. So step one. I'm not going to share all the pages of the of our thing here, but I will explain as I'm going. So step one. Let's look for bars 1, 2. Bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, and the package A. All right, so bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, and package A. So I gotta go in here and look for package A somewhere. So many. But hey, whoever organizes these, amazing job. I mean, the fact that anybody can have 100% accuracy, I mean, that's pretty good, right? I don't know if this is going to be accurate, but let's just hope it is, and that I don't have to call anyone. That's one thing I often worry about whenever I build anything. I'm constantly like, did they give me everything? What are the chances that they can have like 100% accuracy on every packaging, and that I get one of those 100% accurate packages? All right, so we got 4 pieces in here, fantastic, and I need the little, I don't know what this tool is called. This tool, if anybody knows what this L-shaped tool is called, it's pretty common, but I don't know what it's called. It's like you kind of just use it to twist little gap closer or whatever. All right, so let's get these tools ready. So we got our baby tools right here, and this is for is that Michael Wilbur? Yeah, what's up, Michael Wilbur? So for those on YouTube, this is wrapping up a one creative error of my life, which was painting on my smaller easel, and we're going a little bigger now. So here's the other thing. These are also labeled with letters, I think. Are they? Well, if not, they should be. Where's the numbers on these? So we got 1, 2. Where's the numbers on these? Wish I had the number on this one. Ah, this is 8. This one is 9. So I need 1, 2, and 3. So I got 2. All right, so I got 4 in here. Here's a 2. I need 2. There's a 2. Here's a 3. All right, let's go. I need 2 3s, 1 2, and 2 3s. 1 2 and 2 3s. 1 2 and 2 3s. All right, so 1 2 and 2 3s. So 2 3s, 1 2. Now I need a 1. A 1 should look like the other one, a long round piece. So it's probably perfect. So we got our 1 2. We got the base. We're gonna start building our base now, I guess. Hopefully it's the base. I should probably have the cats around just so everybody can see how cute they are. She's sitting inside the box right now. That's cute, right? Who doesn't like a cat sitting in a box? If you don't like cats sitting in boxes, please exit the room, because you will not like me as a person. Because I love cats sleeping in boxes. It's very cute. All right, so let's go. And why would you not like me as a person? Because I like cats sleeping in boxes? I don't know, because we probably just mentally would not get along if you don't like cats sleeping in boxes. But anyway, That was a joke for those of you on Amazon. But anyway, let's see. Number one. Let's go ahead and set this up. We're going to start this with number one. It's going to go number one. It's going to go here. One. Only one side has the holes. So one is going to have the slots, these slots on the inside. And then number two is going to have these slots. And let's take another look at the quality of wood here. What's up, Dave? How you doing? Allen wrench. Ah, Michael, the number one fan. Yes, Allen wrench. Ah, thank you. It's an Allen wrench. Helps the instructions are in English. Turn over. You know, this is just a picture. These are just picture instructions. 1, 2, 3, 4. No words. But you know what? I think the less words people use to communicate, the better. If you could just communicate in symbols and numbers, I think that's honestly perfect communication, right? That's what emojis are for. Emojis are like universal, right? You communicate in emojis and like get a lot of emotions and ideas across. But anyway, let's take a look at the quality of this wood. As craftsmanship is concerned, you know, I'm not a wood expert, but this looks good to me. I mean, I love the color of it. It's like a stained wood. I think there's two options. One's like a regular, like, you know, that regular wood color, which is, you know, we all know that regular. It's like a off yellow white. This is a different color. I can't remember the name of it. But anyways, let's make sure that we get this down. So this is number two. So we got number two here. So we got number two here. And then we got two number threes right here. So let's see. Number three. So we got number three with the, which way does it go? I guess they are both, they are interswappable. So let's see, which way do I want as up? I'll use a smooth side up. So 3, and then 3. So step 1. We're getting through step 1 right now. So let's go ahead and plug that in. Nice to have a little stool. That's the only extraneous tool that I think is helpful, is having a little stool here. All right, there we go. Plug that in. Yo, this cat is having so much fun. Amazon. So if you have cats, Amazon's also a great place to shop because Amazon gives you lots of boxes, and cats love boxes. But you can hear now this creature over here that's scraping. She's having a blast with this box right now. So Amazon's not just good for giving you stuff that you want and need. They're good for entertaining your animals. And like, I didn't even have to, the box came with it. So there we go. Cats can just enjoy the most simple things in life. So, and then you just have to recycle it. All right, here we go. Let's get these little gadgets here. I don't know what to call these. Some type of fancy screw. But I think what I do is each one of these. I wish I could zoom in on every little detail, but you know that's not really the point of these live streams. So of this live stream, it's not like, you know, seeing every individual part. It's just, you know, joining in on the enjoyment of this new era of painting. New era, as in just going bigger paintings. Bigger paintings is what we're going for. So it looks like, it doesn't really show, but I'm guessing that this needs to be the screw, the part with the little thing. It's going to be the one that's on top. All right, so let's figure this out. Okay, the bolts go in from the outside. Gotta remember that. The other thing about cats, if you're working with tools, you gotta make sure that they don't get all up in your area. steal your stuff. They will always steal your stuff. Cats are the greatest thieves, second only to raccoons. So here's some that I messed up on. All right, so Michael Wilbur says, go in the something. All right, let's see. This is the hard part, so I got to put this like nut into it. Bobo Ghost says he got banned. All right, well, it's all good. You're back now. I didn't ban you. Wing nuts go in the back. Is this a wing nut? I don't know what this is. So this is, if anybody wants to join in on informing me on what these tools are, this is the Allen wrench, and this is one of the nuts that we're using. I don't know what this is actually called. This right here. This goes into here, and then something happens. But it's fancy. Me, I don't know anything about tool names. But one thing I do know is I have to fit this into the hole and then like plug it across. So I don't know how to do that effectively. Scout. Psst. How am I gonna do that? Am I sure this is it? Like, it doesn't even like. Okay. How do I do that? Okay. Our first challenge is figuring out how to get this nut in here without. So here's our challenge, right? Let's see if I can pick this up easily to show. So I have to get. Oh shoot! So I have to get this little piece into one of these holes, on the, that's right here. And then I have to put a bolt through on the other side that somehow, Scout, watch out, that somehow lines up. So this is going to require some technical skills, that I wish they had an easy way to do this. Because it doesn't fit like perfectly. You have to like, if I go from the bottom, yeah, that can work. Okay. There we go. Science. All right, let's see. It's working, I think. It didn't fall out. Oh, it worked. Okay. That worked. Fantastic. Ooh, I thought that was going to be a lot harder than it was. So you just got to slide the little thing into the bottom first, and then you can do the top. All right, let's do this other side. What are you doing, Cookie? All right, Allen wrench. Here we go. we go, Alan. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. You know, that's probably one of the best things, one of the best phrases I ever learned from my dad is righty tighty, lefty loosey. It's these simple things that you learn from your parents that become the most helpful in life, right? Righty tighty, lefty loosey. That's it. That's the secret to all screws, or anything bolt, screw related, etc. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Okay, so we can actually turn this on the side now. Honestly, we probably should have just turned it on the side from the beginning. But here we go. Let's do part 2. This next set of bolts, or whatever these are some hammer bolts. If I did make up a name for these, I would call these hammer nut bolts. Hammer nut bolts. Why? Because they're kind of shaped like a sledgehammer, but it's like a nut that you stick into a bolt that makes it work. There we go. Number 2. All right, and we're on the last one, and we're about to finish step 1, which is great. Oops, here we go. So step 1. Hey, Scout, what you doing there? You're not gonna get in trouble, are you? Hopefully this is the trickiest part, because this actually requires some precision. Scout, watch out, dude. Can't be up here. Don't steal my tools, man. Watch out. Go. Did that go in right? Yeah, okay, cool. So we're about to get number 4 in. All right, moving along. If anyone ever wants to hire someone to in Los Angeles to go build their IKEA furniture, I would be happy to do so. It is a process I actually enjoy. All right. So here we go. Step 1 done. Look at this. We've got a nice workable little base right now. I guess this is probably the base. So let's go ahead and let's go to step number 2. Step number 2. Oh, let's attach some wheels to these babies. Okay, it's wheel time, baby. Let's find our wheels. I think the wheels are in here. 4 wheels, great. I get a process going for how I organize all this. Each wheel has 4 little screws. So here we go, perfect. Screws right here, and they gave us a screwdriver. Fantastic, right? It's great when they actually give you tools, because then you know that you're never gonna be of need for a tool. See, so that's a company that's like prepared, you know. They give you a tool. They give you 2 screwdrivers, a flathead and a cross tip. See, or is it a flathead, cross tip, or flat tip, cross tip? I think that's right. So let's go ahead. Alexa, why would someone use a flat tip screwdriver or screw over a cross tip screw?
From thisoldhouse.com. Choosing the correct tip size will help you to prevent damage to the screw and lead to a secure fit. By the way, you have 3 new notifications. Do you want to hear them?
So here's the tricky part, trying to align these wheels. You know what's interesting? So this was actually returned. This was actually an easel that was returned, I think. So I don't know, but anyway, let's take a look at the quality of these wheels here. So these wheels, let's look at how the wheels look right here. Michael says I paid for the tools. So these wheels, you know, they got a lock, little lock, and then a little unlock. So pretty great. Have a good spin on them. Very cool. They will come in handy. I just know it. So from here, the locks go on the other side. So let's go ahead and get these screws in one by one. One, two, three, four. All right. All right, just getting all the screws lined up first before we get too deep into screwing everything down. I think that helps to make sure that there's no issues when you finally need it. And then let's see, make sure that everything lines up perfectly. I think this part's pretty hard to mess up. As far as like figuring out what pieces go where, because it's pretty straightforward with the wheels. Now just getting the angle of I think the hardest part of this part is getting the angle of the screw down. So let's go ahead and bring this down. Even this would probably be better with a power tool, maybe. I don't know. Maybe a power tool would be a little bit too much force. That's definitely going to require some torque in the wrist. I wonder if I should get my actual screwdriver. So this definitely requires some torque. I think the screws are going directly into the wood as opposed to like, you know, something with actual threads. Therefore, you know, your screw is separating the wood. Therefore, it requires a bit more forearm strength and wrist strength in order to do this. Not too much, just, you know, a little extra. I'm going to go right here. Let's see. As long as the wheels don't move around too much, I think we're good to go. All right, wheel number 1, done. Let's do our next one. Gonna bring that right there. Let's go to wheel number 2 here. We're gonna do the one across the way. We'll do the one right in here. Let's see. It's always good to work in good lighting. This is a little less than ideal as far as lighting goes. Actually, you know what? I could turn this light on. I don't think that light will help too much, but just a little cross light could be helpful. So far, pretty straightforward. Not too difficult. You know, it's not built for you. You can't really have a large easel that's already built for you, but if anybody has any difficulty and they live in the Los Angeles area and you want somebody to build an easel for you, not a custom easel, just one that's, you know, built out of the box, let me know. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna bring this down. Let's get this nice and secure. Screw number 1, nice and secure into the wood. Screw number 2. And you know, as always, use safety, use caution, take care of your, you know, lower back. Don't bend with your legs, right? Don't bend with your back. Safety first. If you feel like this would be a very challenging activity for you, you know, talk to a physician, maybe hire someone to do it. I will say that this is, you know, the fact that you have to do all this on a floor, and it's a lot, and you're building from the ground up. This initial base could be challenging. You know, if you have like physical issues, you do have to. The box does weigh about 55 pounds or more. It says 55.1 pounds, but honestly, it felt like, you know, a little bit more. So, you know, just know that if you want to do this, if you want to get an atrium easel, if you're trying to do larger paintings and things like that, just know that it's not light. This is not a light, like out of the box, easy, simple setup. Maybe there are some, but I wanted to get an easel that was a bit bigger, that also had these wheels, so I can move it around. And you know, I could have gotten one without the wheels, but I opted for the ones with the wheels. And of course, you know, you gotta build it. So, you know, if you don't like to build things, if you know, don't like to bend down and stuff, or at least, you know, maybe you want to use this, have somebody else do this part. I mean, this part's not hard, but it's not like, you know, not the easiest thing that I've ever constructed that's come out of a box. Because the screws are pretty, screws are going directly into the wood. So it's a little bit harder as you get it into it. I do have to put a little bit of a rotation into my wrist to get this done. So, you know, I would say it probably requires about like 10 to 20 pounds of strength with each rotation of my wrist. 10, maybe 10 pounds. 20 pounds is a lot, but 20 pounds sounds like a lot. But maybe like 10 pounds of twist. 10 to 20 pounds of twist here. Let's see, let's make sure these are as tight as the other ones. All right, that was a little loose. There we go. set apart. Although it's easy, although it's simple, it's not necessarily easy depending on your strength. You know, you might want someone to do it for you. I'm not saying it's like really, really hard. It's just, you know, my arms are already getting tired. So, you know, I can only imagine, you know, artists come from a wide range of physical capabilities. And, you know, if that is something of consideration for you, you know, you want something easy, straight out of the box. Actually, you know, I don't think I think there's very few things. One thing that Amazon has done for the world that I think is really great is they figured out how to ship pretty much anything in like a buildable format. So like this I can build. I mean, maybe it was IKEA that did that. I don't know. I don't think maybe Amazon didn't do it, but they just helped to ship it. But I bought a bed the other day, and the bed was it wasn't an inflatable bed. It was a rollout bed that like was padding, and the padding inflates. It's not like inflate with air, but it just like the mattress decompresses and becomes a full-size mattress. And that blew my mind because it's like you can't ship a regular mattress through Amazon as easily. And I think because of this innovation of Amazon, you know, products like that do great. Because you can easily keep it around. And, you know, being that, I know this is it's got some publicity, but I guess congratulations, Jeff Bezos just had a wedding. Good job. Amazing. Congratulations to Jeff Bezos on that. Even as an Amazon associate, I guess this is a big deal, right? Good old Jeff Bezos wedding. Pretty cool. And all the wonderful people that were there. So here we go. Setting up here, popping in these 4 screws, getting them in here ahead of time. You know, it does bring to mind. I wonder, like, when you reach the level of like Jeff Bezos and his level of like success, like I'm not saying he does nothing, but I'm wondering like what he actually does do. Not for Amazon, but just like in life in general, right? Like if he gets something like this, does he actually build it himself? Like would he actually enjoy building it? Or would it literally not even be worth his time, even if he did enjoy it? It makes me wonder, does Jeff Bezos build his own furniture? Or would he if he wanted to? I mean, I guess he could do anything, but here's the food for thought question of the day. So I'm having a problem in this little section right here because the light in this area. Let me move this up a little bit. We'll go right here. You know, another solution to this might be actually doing it on a table. So like setting this up on like a table. All right, here we go. Getting these last screws in. And then we have one more of these in the section. Let's see what people are saying. Got some conversation. Dave says 10 feet-pounds, twist, wrist pounds. Jeff would make me look like a professional handyman. Well, thank you, Dave. Again, you know, I'm not criticizing Jeff, and I'm not criticizing anybody that doesn't know how to build anything. It's okay if you don't know how to build stuff, you know, like there's people that pride themselves in building things, and there's some people who, you know, just want it ready-made. They don't want to build it. They just want to enjoy it. whether he wants to build it or not, isn't really, you know, what I'm sure he's fully capable of. I'm just, you know, bringing up this idea. Just at a wedding. I'm like, would he do this, even if he wanted to? See, I actually like doing this stuff because it gives me, I feel like now in like modern days, or modern society, or whatever you want to call it, I used to do a lot more work in an office on computers and things, and I felt like I really disconnected from my body, my physical body. I know that sounds weird, but like, you know, typing away on a keyboard all day and answering phone calls and like, you know, reading and doing stuff on a computer, that's like one way to engage your mind. But when you actually get your body involved, when you do physical things, crafts, activities, I think it's a way, you know, it's a really good way to like reconnect with the physical world. As cheesy as it sounds, I'm not trying to get all like magical kumbaya here, but you know, it's like a way of touching grass, right? Like I think that's a common word today. People spend too much time indoors. It's like the secret to life is to go touch grass, right? To go outside, enjoy the grass. And I think this is like a form of that. Any sort of construction, any sort of using your hands to build something, anything, is a good way to reconnect with things. And literally a form of, you know, using different parts of your brain, right? Typing at a computer, and I'm not even saying, like, maybe I think, you know, there is lots of benefits to manual crafts. Actually, you know what? This could be my garbage bag. Let me see. Yeah, let's go right there. Benefits to the craft of manual crafts. Cats are fighting. What's wrong, Scout? What did Pookie do? What'd you just fight over, bud? You just fight over the litter box? Pookie, what's going on? Huh? Are you two angry at each other? What happened? Oh, I just got a little something scraped my finger. Just trying to see if it's a splinter. Whatever. Alright, let's do this. Last 4 screws. Honestly, I think this is probably the hardest part. I hope this is the hardest part. All right. Part 2, section 2. All right, section 2. What am I saying section 2 for? This, oh yeah, this is part 2 of our. Let me see how many steps there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 12 steps. I might be here for a few hours, people. 12. Is there one more page? It might be 14 steps. No. Is there one more page? Yeah. There's 14 total steps, and I'm only on number 2. But I think the rest will go pretty quick compared to these first 2 steps. The very first step, you know, opening the box, getting everything situated. That's all step 1. Getting these wheels on is its own little project. All right, and now let's get the last screw in here. And hopefully we can actually like flip this over. Do we flip this over next? Yeah, I think we flip it over next. All right, cool. So let's see. All right, let's get this last screw in here. All right. So as you can tell, this part does require some strength. You can tell by the way I'm sweating. Should probably open the doors. In California, it's only about 75 right now. Alexa, what's the temperature right now?
Right now, it's 71 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, it's only 71 degrees right now. I should pop this door open a little bit. Let's go get some air. It's actually quite windy. All right, where's that screwdriver? 71 in Los Angeles. Everywhere else in the country is about 100-some degrees. One time I went to go paint. I was saved by an Amazon box. I went to go paint outdoors. So I went to go paint in the field outside. And I brought everything except, Scout, go. Go somewhere else. Go. I brought everything, my easel, my paints, my supplies, everything except for a canvas. Forgot my canvas. But fortunately, I had an Amazon box. And that Amazon box, I painted on it. And it was a great painting. All right, here we go. All right, got that torque in my wrist. There we go, torque number 2. Okay, fantastic. Well, we've got that part situated. So let's look for part number 2. Now we need H and 4. So we need 2 4s and an H. So 4 and 4. Here we go. Here's number 4 and 4. All right, so we've got our 2 4s. Let's just place this down right here. And now we need our H. Whatever this H pack is, actually. Well, let's put my keys somewhere else. 4s and an H. Pretty much the same things as last time, except G plus D. H, here we go, perfect. And is the 100% accuracy on that? 2 parts of H. Fantastic. Let's see. So right, so 4 and 4. I think we can actually roll this over now. There we go. Some progress, baby. And then the 4 screens go on the inside, so cool. Everything's pretty intuitive as long as you get these to match right. Good. Right, just kind of go like that. And do this other slot like so. Oh, but here's the tricky part now. This is also a tricky part. We need to figure out how we're going to get this screw into here. So let's see what we could do about that. Pop back out our Allen wrench and see what's the conversation right now. Pookie, yes, Pookie. Look at little Pookie. What are you doing, little Pookie? Huh? She found a new house. It's a little box. I can thank Meeden and Amazon for this box. And whoever made the box, I did not see a name on the box. But let's go like this. And let's go. Here we go. All right. So we got the first piece. Kind of have to like slide this piece through and then around. So we get this Allen wrench going. Great tool, an Allen wrench, whoever invented it. Amazing that humans can all unite based on tools. Like, isn't it great? Tools are pretty standardized. I mean, yeah, there's so many, and if you go to different countries, like, you know, you got different tools. Oh, you know what would be a masterpiece? So here's an artwork that I just came up with right here. The back of this couch has been scratched up by my kittens, and honestly, I feel like it's a masterpiece of scratch marks. If cats could make art, here's an art idea for anyone with cats. Take something that they scratched up and, you know, get a gallery to represent them, because this is masterwork here. I love these scratch marks. It's very avant-garde. These scratch marks are very avant-garde scratch marks. Very Cy Twombly. These Cy Twombly-esque scratch marks are genius. They're signs of a genius. My cats are probably the smartest cats in the world. All right, let's see. Dave, what's up? Start it unattached and take it out so the hole is started before you have to hold it in a wonky way. Did it beautifully. Thank you, Dave. Thanks for being a part of this. By the way, Dave, this is the first time I've seen your name in here. What brought you into my live stream today? What got you interested? How did you come to find my live stream today? I love seeing new names, returning names, everything. And you know, is it the art? Because I haven't seen you in any of my painting streams, but you know, it makes me wonder: are you here for the you like the constructing element, or what is it that interests you? I'm trying to unlock these wheels here. All right. So let's see. All right. Another Another section almost complete. This one was definitely easier than the last one. All right, so here we go. Like last time. So again, I don't know the name of this tool, but this is like a bolt within this nut that you kind of like fit perpendicularly, which is really interesting. I've never seen this type before, but it's a little bolt that you stick into a hole, and then you got to put this through another hole, and it goes in perpendicular, and then you screw it in and it works. I pulled you in. All right, well, wonderful, thank you. Yes, so this is a new era in my paintings, which is me going to a bigger canvases, bigger paintings, all that. So the way I progressed in painting is I kind of graduated myself. I would do like 10 or 20 paintings. I would do like 10 to 20 paintings of each size, starting from like 3 by 4 inches size paintings, and then now I'm starting to move up beyond the size of my last easel. So that's how I have chosen to progress my skills as far as dealing with larger and larger canvas sizes. All right, let's go. I had a way to make this like easier. All right, let's try this. There we go. All right, spin that around. All right, there we go. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. The secret to all crafting. They need more phrases like that. But that comes in handy in so many ways. Changing a tire, fixing pretty much almost anything in life that requires turning, twisting something. Right is tight, left is loose. And I don't know if that's universal or if it's like only in the US and the imperial system versus the metric. Like if people that use the metric system have like lefty, tighty, righty, loosey, I don't know. But that has carried me through so many problems in life. Just that one little phrase of righty, tighty, lefty, loosey. Someone should come up with like a list of those phrases that can save your life. It doesn't actually save my life, but I find it very helpful. All right, so let's see. Step number 4. We're looking for 6, 7, and 8. Okay, let's look for parts 6, 7, and 8. We're making some progress here, people. This is very exciting. Excuse me. All right, so I see 12. I see, oh, is this 6? This should be 6. 6. 7 is a long piece. 9, 10. Okay, let's go over here. Must be these two. That's 11. So I got 6, 7, and one more, 8. 6, 7, and 8. Where are we at? Where's 8? What does 8 look like? 8's just the regular long piece. So maybe it's this one. Good job, Louie. This has to be it. This must be number 8. Yes, here we go. Number 8. So we got 6, 7, and 8. Here we go. This one's a pretty easy one. Dave says, put some hair in the hole is a good one where you can't get something in there. Some hair in the hole, you can probably find it. Hair. What do you mean hair? All right, so here we go. The next part is attaching 6. So this is 8. Attaching 7. Ooh, look at these mechanical stuff. So 8. So the side with no holes, they both have holes. Both of these have holes on number 8. So I guess this has to go like this. Voila, let's go, knock that in there. 6, 7, and then 8. Six, 7, and then 6 goes on top like so. Oh, here we go. It is under construction now. Look at this. Look at this piece right here. Look how great this piece looks. We're starting to get some progress. So let's just put this to the side where it won't fall. Make sure it doesn't fall. All right, step number, we're up to number 5 now. Get this breeze going. So 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we need multiple D's. We need D's, 9, and 10. So let's look for our D's and 9 and 10. Who else would enjoy building stuff like this? I'm sure there's a dad out there somewhere who really is excited to have kids because they get to build all this furniture from IKEA. There's got to be some dad out there that just loves like building IKEA furniture. And the fact that they have a kid, they're having a kid, and they get to build all this like furniture in the bedroom just excites them. So this looks like D. All right, so this looks like D. So we need 4 D's. We need 4 D's and 9 and 10. So 4 D's, 9 and 10. Where's 9 and 10 look like? 4 D's, 9 and 10. So 9 and 10 must be these two. All right, 9 and then 10. So let's build these separately, actually. Let's go bring this closer to the, bring that right there. We're gonna get our pieces situated. So we're gonna do 9, push this up. 9, 10. And let's see our instructions real quick before I get all up in this. So let's see, number 5, where do we go? So number 5, we're gonna do, so let's say this is 9. Oops. Let's just say this is 9. And then okay, so 9 and 10. So 6 was at the top, right? So 6 at the top. 9 and 10 go like that. 9 is on the inside, 6 is at the top. Which means if I need to, probably need to flip this. Oh shoot. Okay. Let's see here. And then 6 will come in there. Right here. Alright. Now for the fun part. Let's get 10 on here as well. So one great thing about this easel is it's almost about the same dimensions, like, you know, X in the X-axis, but it goes higher in the Y-axis. It's a lot taller, but the same dimensions rectangularly. So, you know, it's a nice thing to take advantage of the vertical space in your apartment. All right, so now I gotta navigate this. This is the D, right? Yes, so I need 4 of these, 4 Ds. I need to get them into each of these slots. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, cool. All right. Okay. So we're building a little fortress here. The invasion of the cats. I just want to make sure that they don't, you know, grab anything important. Steal any important goods here. All right, so section number 2. This part's not as bad. Just kind of line up the piece into this hole. Hey, Scout, what are you doing? He likes to get out at this door. His favorite thing is to escape. So we have like these little holes in our things. So I have to put these boxes. Thank goodness I have a lot of Amazon boxes that we can stick up over the holes so that he can't get out. But now, let's go ahead and flip this. So we are gonna flip this around now. Let's go this way. What's up, dude? Why are you licking your lips like you just ate something good? Did you find a mouse? Did you find a mouse in the house? On a boat? In the moat? Alright. So these ones are a little easier. Maybe I made it harder for myself because I wasn't doing it in the most effective way possible. Because as someone else is suggesting, Dave, you know, Dave seems to know how to build stuff. He's saying that my life would have been easier if I just had used hair, something called hair. we go. All right. So maybe that's the secret to the other ones. You got to do the math. You got to go where the bolt falls. You got to use like gravity work for you, and you got to figure out to set it up to where the bolt falls. But it also didn't help because the other ones, like these, are on the surface. So these bolts like go on the surface, whereas the other bolts actually, they fell into a hole and they disappear. So that made it a little bit harder. You can't do it this way because suddenly they'll fall straight down and then you kind of lose the bolt. Or you lose the, you lose the bolt. So it did make it a little harder. Here we go. We're on step number 5 right now. No, step number 5? Yeah, step number 5. And hopefully everything is in the right direction still. I think that's, if you mess up one of these steps, you kind of got to start all over later on. That's another thing about designing these things. If you ever build these more, is like, if you're responsible for designing these things, it helps to make it so like foolproof. So like if you were to design this specific step, you want to make like one piece bigger than the other so that you can't fit in case someone mixes it up, which I don't know if that's possible. I mean, that would have been possible totally. But I'm relying on, the visual imagery to get me through this. Why? I was getting stuck. Oh, there we go. No, that didn't solve it either. What's going on? Okay, making some progress, people. All right, I see Omizu, who has a specially colored name. What's up, Omizu? And then here we go. So those of you that are just tuning in, this is a transition in my creative artistic endeavors. This is a wrapping up of my French easel use in my studio apartment to an H-frame easel. My upgrade to a large H-frame easel. And that's our big move. So here we go. We're on to step number 2, which we need the C parts. So we need our C parts here. Let's put away some of our things here, so we can clean up a little bit. And consolidate some of our things. So which ones are our C? We got M. I don't know what this bag is. C? Is this C? That's B. Helps to know what you're looking for. F, K, That's why it was wrapped up in the bag. No, I think these actually go on the bottom. Let's see. So the only ones that are not labeled are the C's. M, 13, C. Oh. All right, well, this is the only issue. Oh, that says L. So that's L. It's the only bag that has not been labeled thus far. Let me see. Okay. Here we go. C. All right, that looks close enough. So C comes with two little wood pegs and this little screw thing. All right, C with the large round wood thing. Screw. There's two of them. All right, cool. Found them. Solution solved. All right, and hopefully this part's not too complicated either. Although here's where it gets crazy is I actually have to figure out how to stand this up while building this part. So how am I going to do this? I don't know. Well, we're getting progress, right? I think I've got a solution. So this washer. Let's see. Start with this. All right, my neighbors are smoking. Very exciting. This is the highlight of my night is when my neighbors smoke. Totally kidding. Oh my gosh. All right, so here we go. Let's just slide that in for now. Oh. I guess it goes down here, right? Yeah. No? Wait, let's see. So 6 is up here. This looks right. Yep, they got the 2 holes at the top. These goes in the holes in the middle. This other piece. So this could definitely quickly become a 2-person job. In fact, it is already becoming. Well, it would make it easier if it was 2 people, but right now it's not too bad. As far as the ease of use, you just gotta like figure out how to prioritize which sections. So you can see it's already getting pretty. It's already becoming a much larger easel. It's an exciting little weekday project. All right, so here we go. Got a little like a little wood piece to put into here. It's a I think it's just a barrier for the piece of wood here. I have no clue yet how this is all going to go. When there's a will, there's a way, right? You want to do something, you can do it. You want to do something, you can do it. Let's go like this. Step into our canvas, step into the easel. Oh, that's not going to work. Let's see. It might be easier. I don't want to put it on its side, though. How do I do this? If anyone ever wants to observe how men solve problems, you can see my YouTube channel and people trying to figure out, trying to break down their problems. I don't know if that, you know what, it would be interesting to see if men actually solve problems differently than women as far as like building things go. It's not a like, you know, it's not like a, I wouldn't say that there's like a massive difference, but it'd be interesting to see how that actually works. Because in any situation when I've had to like solve like some sort of mechanical issue, like pulling a car out of a ditch, I had to do that one time. The women have not been involved. I gotta say, I can't say that in real life that I've ever seen a group of women working a mechanical problem. Ah, yes, one part in. Perfect. Just sliding it in, sliding it in. Piece. Come on now. There we go. All right. Great. Now we just got to get this washes on this side. So just a matter of lining up Lining up these two pieces on the outside here. Lining up the holes. Sit at a decent height. And it's not too difficult to go. Get the washer in there. Nice little washer on the other side. Can't stop, won't stop. All right. Let's see. All right, so I guess the tighter you pull this, the more it locks into place. All right. Trying to figure out a way so that this doesn't accidentally start tipping. But I think as long as I stay here for now, I'll be okay. So maybe if I just loosen it up and let it sit on the floor so I don't have to worry about that. Let's turn it sideways, actually. All right, there we go. Just rest it safely for now. All right, let's see what our next step is. Just did that setup, got the C in there. So this is pretty cool because it just helps to tighten. And I think you can actually turn this horizontal, which is great if you want to paint on top of this surface. There's a minimum height. I think this is about 3 feet off the ground, right? That looks like about 3 feet. So if you want to paint on a horizontal surface, you have to be, you have to work from the top like this. That'll be fun. All right, so here we go. We got number 7. We need 2 B pieces. Let's go find our B pieces. What are our B pieces? Just the washers, the bolts with the washers. And then just putting our pieces away as we go through each one. We got our C's, we need our B's. And we got the B, clearly labeled B. Okay, perfect. And then we need our number 5s. So 2 number 5 pieces, which, oh, that's cool. They're attached. No, are these number 5? These cannot be number 5. No, this is 10 and 11. This is number 11. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right. These must be our number 5s. Is that right? Come on, give me a label somewhere. No labels. Alright, so they did miss a couple things. I haven't missed any pieces, but they definitely missed 1 or 2 labels, which isn't too bad. Oh no, wait, it's these rectangular pieces. So that they stick into the 5. I see why they didn't label it, because they should have labeled these 2 though. Should have been like 5A and 5B. Alright, let's see how this works. It's nice that I could work this standing up now, right? So I can just lay them across, but let's see, 5B. So these pieces actually slide into one another, if we look. So if we face this on the inside, this is going to face me. This is facing me. The round part goes to the edge. Round part goes to the other edge here. And let's see how this goes. So the 5s are like that. We're going to face NZ, innies, not outies. And we're going to go B across. So where's our B piece? Right. This. here. There we go, making some good time. Not taking as long as I thought it would. There's definitely some steps that are a little challenging, but not too difficult. Not outrageous. Not outrageous at all. So we actually gonna get any painting tonight done? I don't know. We'll see. So the washer goes on the outside, screw goes on the inside. Like that. Slide the washer on. Let's go tighten this screw. So this piece really just, you just have the plastic on just to loosen up the piece. And guess what it does? It just goes, whoop. Look at that. There we go. Almost done here. Now for the other side. Washers go on the outside. Bolt goes on the inside. Okay. And here we go. I want to raise this just a little bit. Tighten that. Let's raise this part to about the same. I don't think it matters that much as far as whether they match as far as length goes, but just to get a general, just in case we need to. Okay. Now what? So we got the B set in. We need D's and L's. So here we go. We got our D. I don't know what this is. That's a K, F. This is our L's. So we need our D's and our L's. Those are our D's. These are our D's, right? Yes, this was a D and L's. D's and L's. All right, so let's start with the foundation first. We're gonna plug in our D's, our two D pieces at the bottom here. So here's what we should do. Let's go. How can I get this to stand on my own? I can lock this, but I don't think it's reliable yet because there's nothing to hold it, right? So there's no support system in the back. So I don't want it to just have it standing, but I might have no choice. So let's just hope that it fits. Let's go down here because I need to go down here. All right, let's see. Let's stick this back piece. Let's get our D's situated first. Uh-oh. I'm looking at this and I'm wondering if I got the previous D's in the right spot. Where did these have? Oh yeah, the washer goes on the outside. That's weird. No, that's not D, that's why. These are D. Alright, this is the D. The bolt comes from the bottom. No, I just have to suck it up and let this fall to the front here. That works. Still a little rotation because we're going to be working from this back side now. And D-bolt is going to come in and around. Not too bad. I thought it would be much more difficult. Let's see, where does this go? It's coming right in there, right? Oh, oh my God, come on. Problem is my finger doesn't fit all the way up. It's working? Oh, it works. You just got to push it all the way up there. Okay. Not bad. This is fine because this needs to go on the outside. It's on the outside anyway. This actually needs to go on the inside of this. So I can just let that sit. We just let that sit like so. Leave it a little loose for now. Let it be a little loose. And then I'll do the other side. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, here we go. Thought I might have pushed it into the wrong side. Oh man. Please tell me this is not the wrong side. Oh. This is not good. Not good at all. Oh, come on. No, that's not it either. How come? There's a hole for this. Oh, there we go. Almost there, people. If I just set this right there, it'll probably be easier. So many ways to do this. Yes, all right. And we're moving along. Almost got this thing built. Not too bad. I know I do a lot of groaning, but that's for the entertainment purpose of it. All the groanings for show. Make it seem harder than it is. Why would I do that? I don't know. Why would anybody try to make something seem like it's harder than it really is? It's a good question. Now it is interesting that this part slides a little further the opposite direction than that one. All right, not bad. And let's get our L's out. Our L comes with a washer. So it goes screw, wood, screw, then wood in between, and washer thing. All right, so screw, wood, screw, washer, the thing that goes in between. So I have a feeling, pretty much all the easels from this brand will probably be pretty similar as far as construction goes. Let's see. Oh boy. There we go. Set that right there. Let's bring this up. Raise this here. Doing all right. So these pieces come right around here. Let's see, the bolt goes on the inside, the washer goes on the outside, the wood goes in between. Bolt. Bolt, wood, and the handles go. Oh no, the handles go on the outside. That would make sense, right? Putting the handles on the outside. So the bolt, wood, I'll lower this so it fits. There we go. Bolt, wood, washer, handle. Goes with the washer. Not bad so far. All right, almost on to the last parts here. Let's get the next one. Wood, bolt, washer, handle. All right. It's not even really wood, it's more like a cork of some sort. There we go. Pretty straightforward. All right, we got a nice standing easel now. Let's take a look at this. Let's see how it's looking. I think we only have a couple more steps left to go. Let's see how this is. One thing about the roller is the roller kind of like rolls around. Yeah, the roller, it's not like a really straightforward, you know, it's like rolly wheels. They're not wheels that like, they're rolly wheels, which means, you know, the wheels kind of like go in circles as opposed to straight lines. So you're gonna have to get used to like maneuvering it. But so almost done. We're almost there, people. Almost there. Let's have I think we've only got like 2 more sections to add on. All right. Actually, we got 4, 5, 6 more steps. 6 more steps, people. All right. So let's go with the F. Let's do number 12 and 11. So this is number 12. Nope, this is 13. This is number 12 right here. Cool. All right, this is exciting. A nice, heavy, big chunk of wood. They're called turning lobs. The wheels have locks. Yes, Omizu's been chatting. Yes, the wheels have locks. Prop over the book. Yes, the wheels have locks. I've unlocked them. And this one, look at this. This is some nice heavy duty. Check out this quality of this wood. It's actually pretty decent. Pretty good. I'm not like a carpenter. I'm not a woodsmith, a woodsman or anything, but it looks nice to me. It looks like some good quality wood right there. We all like good quality wood, right? Who doesn't like wood? Wood is necessary for life to prosper. All right, so we're gonna attach 12 to 11. So this is 12. Let's just set this down right here for now. Getting a little excited right now, so we don't want to lose our concentration here. Don't want to lose too much concentration as we're nearing the end, nearing the finish line here. Let me put away some garbage. Good to slowly pack away all the things you don't need as you do this. So there's one screwdriver I didn't even use, but anyway, this is our N or Z. Here's our F. So we need an F bolt. We need an F bolt. I don't even know what this is. What is this? Here we go. So F goes into 11. What is 11? Here we go. So this is 11. I don't really understand this one. we starting to, can y'all still see what's going on here? All right, so it looks like this one kind of just sits like this. You prop this up like so. See, actually I should set this across, right? This wood should be able to handle more wood. And I don't know if this is the right direction, but I'm just gonna guess. I shouldn't have to guess, but I have to. This is the first time I can see some issues. Oh. So here's what's confusing, right? People, look at this. Look at this direction, okay? So this is where a changing direction comes in. Now look at this. I gotta plug the F into this. Clearly, this is how it's supposed to be, right? Like, if you look at this top instruction right here, number 9, clearly number 9 is like this. It's facing towards me. And then there's supposed to be this hole. They were supposed to put the hole on the top. The hole was supposed to be on the top. But it's actually, or according to instruction, but it's actually on the bottom. So now I got this dilemma of I'm not sure exactly. I don't know what to trust anymore. I don't know what to believe. Who do I trust? I don't know who to believe anymore. So I'm just going to guess that the slider is going to be the accurate direction. So let me just hope that the slider is in the accurate direction. This needs to face forward. This needs to face forward. Then the slider is going to go down here. What's that? Nope. This will fit, that'll be great. If not, that'll be not great. Basically, we want that part to face the front. So let's just hope this, why is it not going though? See, look, this piece is too big to fit in here. So, Meeden, help me out, Meeden. What's going on? There we go. All right, cool. It went. Just need a little extra force. All right, good, Meeden. Whew. I thought that was going to be the end of the night. All right, so what do we got to do? Let's see. Let's try to support this with our leg. There's my Allen wrench. Here we go. Get my Allen wrench, get my instruction booklet. So many tools and bolts that I've never seen in my life. This will be very exciting. Oh. I I see a problem. So this needs to go in here first. Great. Awesome. That was easy. Okay. And then now just get this last screw into here. Make sure this is facing the right way. Okay. Okay. I might have a tool question if anybody is a tool expert. But here's my dilemma here. It's probably not a big problem. It's not a big problem, but it does make me wonder. So I have this piece right here that's actually sticking out a little bit. This little piece right here has a little bit of a outie. I'm wondering if it should be pretty much super tight or what. This would be a great hammer or something. All right, let's put this down. It's not a huge problem. It's not a problem at all, as long as it works. I just wonder if it's supposed to be sticking out as much as it is. You know, actually it's pretty tight. What am I saying? Making issues where there shouldn't be any issues. All right, now, gotta go to the bottom side of this. Okay. I'll be able to just rest this on my leg while I'm doing this. Let's see. So we got to put these little screws here. It's going to be E. It's going to be letter E with 4 screws. So this is E and we got 4 screws, right? Yep, E and it's got 4 screws. That makes me wonder what the point of this thing is. It's like a lock system. They should have had us screw this one in. Should have screwed this part. So for Meaden, if you're watching this, we should have screwed this piece in. Well, maybe not because it might scratch up the floor. Actually, you know what? I'm sure sure it could have gone both ways, but now I have to screw this part in, and it's like such an awkward position. Let me see how I can possibly do this correctly. I just have to like go like this. All right, let's have to do that. I'm not a lefty, so the problem is because I'm not a lefty, and trying to screw this in left-handed is going to be a pain. It'd be nice if I could just like rest this up on somewhere, but I do this. All right, let's get another screw. Let's get all 4 screws prepared first in there before we. Luckily, they gave us a screwdriver that was magnetic. They didn't cheap out on giving us these tools that. They didn't cheap out on the tools, which is good. I have bought like stuff that you have to make, and like they kind of like give you like the worst possible tools. But this one, they actually give you a magnetic screwdriver, which is good. I appreciate that from Meaden. But they made one mistake. Meaden basically made one mistake as far as the construction of this thing goes. And it's not too bad of a mistake. Oh. Where did that screw go? Ah, here we go. Okay. Adjust my direction here. All right, almost there. Last screw. All right, there we go. Screw number 2. So as far as the instruction goes, there was one error that I noticed in the book. Hopefully, it's not a big one. I still have yet to, fully. There's still a chance for that error to have an issue, but I don't. So far, I think it looks pretty good. We're looking okay. I will say though, the screwdriver, although it's magnetic, I don't think it'll last more than one project. Or at least these screws. These screws lose their metal pieces really easily. Yeah, this magnet's pulling off a lot of the metals right off the get-go. A lot of little metal pieces are coming off on the screws. So I don't think, I don't know if it'll be able to unscrew, but whatever. Let's go. Let's keep moving. So right now, right now is our chance to turn this baby vertical. So y'all see the cat in here. I don't know if you can see the cat, but you can see the cat. She's down here. All right. Set our foot on this. We gotta turn this horizontal now, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, we can set that for now. All right, so let's see. Let's move this out a little bit. Let's get this baby horizontal. Too bad. Once we get it horizontal, we want to do let's see what that does. Oh, slides right in, baby. Okay. Very good. Slid right in. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Don't you like when everything works out just right? So, and that's what this is for. So this is the little pin hook to raise or lower this. I see. Now everything makes sense. So we're gonna slide this up to the first notch to make sure that it locks. There we go. Boom. And now we got to find our K hook, our K piece. Scout. We got a K. F. And I think it's safe to move this. Let me see. See if I can move this. There we go. All right, nice and stable, right? Isn't this nice? It's a nice stable tabletop to work from. It's great. Lock this little section. Just gotta make sure you constantly lock your supplies. let's see, we're gonna put our K into the back here. So oh, you know what? This piece is too soon. All right, let's do this. How's it turning? Gotta pop that buddy guy in here first. This is really weird. Just a random little metal piece here. I don't really know what it does. Can't really figure out what it's for. Guess it just allows for smooth sliding or something? I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. Here we go again. Let's go. Okay. I feel like originally this was designed a little differently. Let's go ahead and get this back into position here so everybody can see how this starts to look. It actually looks pretty nice. You know, there's so much wood in my apartment, so this actually fit pretty well. It's a very my apartment is a very warm, like brown. It feels really like old school. This is all classic furniture. It's a lot of antique stuff. Good old classics stuff. All right, so we need one more K. Let's grab this K. Grab this K piece. This other K. Here we go. We drop this K on top here as well. I feel like the easel was originally designed differently, or they have like many of these same pieces that get used for maybe these pieces get used for the same things. I don't know. I don't even know what that knob is for. The knob doesn't even go through. Sadly, this little bolt right here. Must be on backwards because this bolt doesn't go through all the way. Yeah, it's really weird. So this bolt only goes through, but it doesn't go through this way. So they must have reversed it by accident. It doesn't go through from the other side is what I'm saying. So I think what happened is let me try the other piece, and hopefully the other piece just happens to be the right one. Yeah, this one's a little better. Still a little wacky, but a little tight. When in doubt, try a different bolt. Okay, not bad. So far, so good. It's not the finest mass engineering and design, but it's good. It's good. It passes. But as far as the ultra finest craftsmanship that has ever been done before goes, I think that these nuts could have been prepared a little better, these bolts, but they work. And there's some extra holes here. So it makes me wonder if these extra holes are because, these past pieces were designed for other, they probably make like 10, they basically make like 10 other easels that you probably have to build. So it makes me wonder if just because of that, they have some pieces that go on multiple, and that's why there's these extra holes. But actually, you know what? We're still not done yet, so there still might be use for them. I just don't think that they will be. Let's see. All right, so we got that piece. We got got this, and now get this last part. We need 1K and 4 M's. So 1K, 4 M's. All right. So we get the 1K and the 4 M's. Let's get this back to regular position now. Back to a regular position. We've got something good going on here. So if you're ever going to lock this, you have about 1, 2, 4, 6 knobs that need to be totally locked in order for your canvas to be in a good position. But let's go ahead. So this is actually pretty tall, right? It's higher than the height of the camera. And it's taller than I am. So, I'm probably gonna have to step on a stool in order to use this properly. But let's see where are we doing this. Oh no. What? There we go. All right. So that's what this is for. To create a nice little like stopper. Oh wow, this actually does a good job of stopping. It's just a little metal rail. And I guess when you bring these two together, wow. All right, so this will go pretty high. I don't know. This is already much more space than I even could possibly need for my most recent projects. But hey, you know, you gotta prepare yourself for more than you really want. Oh yeah, so you do need this hole. Never mind. So you know what, Meeden? A few minutes ago, I was saying as far as the ultra fine craftsmanship and like, because I saw this extra hole here and I didn't know if it was going to be used. And like, you know, when you like produce something in an assembly line or whatever, sometimes you have pieces that go in multiple parts. No, I was wrong. Please, if I could erase that, I would. Can't take it back now. But I am going to need this last hole. I was looking at this hole earlier and I was like, oh, that hole doesn't do anything. And you know, maybe they just put it there just to have it. But no, there's a purpose. And as far as the rest of this, I don't see any holes that are not being used. Therefore, you know, the entire construction of this, the original design was designed just for this, not for other pieces. So everything that I said about 10 minutes ago, 5-10 minutes ago, I rescind my statement. If that's the right word, I think rescind means to take back something that you said, right? So that's what that means. Now here, we got our final pieces right here. These are just pieces that go on the bottom. These, some paint rollers, 6-inch brush. To the crank. What's upside down? Is something upside down? Oh, Mizu. Everyone. Alright. Oh yeah, there's even a bigger easel. Eventually I will upgrade to a crank one. One day, that's my goal in the next 5 or 10 years, to paint paintings that require a crank. So we're nearing the end here. The final countdown. And basically, one thing that's cool about this easel is it comes with these little foot parts. So these little parts that go onto these to help level the easel. So they're like these little rubber stoppers. So it's a rubber stopper with a wing nut. I think it's called a wing nut. Little wing piece that attaches. It helps to level. I think it helps to level the easel. But all of this. Can't really tell if the washer. So it goes washer, wing nut, thing. Why is it backwards? I know I'm complaining a lot, but so obviously they would need the wing nut. I was like, you know, why would they put the washer where it's not supposed to be? And I think the obvious reason, you know, I was complaining just now about this. I'm constantly thinking about like the designers who put this together, and like, you know, what's on their mind, and if everything's like, you know, accurate, like, because it just blows my mind when people could get this stuff like 100% in every single package. And I don't know if that's true, but this one has been good so far, except for that one nut where I had to switch out a different screw, and the other screw went in, even though it was the same piece supposedly. But anyways, I was asking the question of why this washer is going behind the wing nut, and obviously the design reason would probably be so that you don't lose the washer. You could just put the washer. So anyways, there's that. There's just me being a little nitpicky there. A little nitpicky, but so far, you know, if you think about the design and putting this all together, Meeden has done an amazing job. So good work, Meeden. people at IKEA would probably be, you know, this would totally be a great thing to see at IKEA. I like IKEA's. Earlier I said IKEA is probably one of my favorite stores to visit in Los Angeles. And I don't go there like every day, but it's nice to just like walk. I feel like I'm just walking through people's homes, you know? Is that weird to enjoy? Is to enjoy feeling like you're walking through these like cozy homes? And you can't do that in like a luxury, like an ultra luxury, you know, ultra luxury showroom because it just doesn't feel the same. There's a lot of twisting and turning on this project. I don't know if I'll ever use these stoppers. It's a lot of work to get them all the way down. Scout, psst, get off. Scout, psst. Can you go? Can you listen to me on camera? Just pretend like you would actually listen. All right, there you go. Good boy. He actually is the king of the castle. I'm just living in his castle. But on camera, I like to pretend like I can tell him what to do. Makes me feel like the king of the castle. But really, he does this funny thing where he like in the morning he like stands up on my chest and like looks around, like surveys the kingdom while he's standing over me, looking down at me. Yes, he knows he's the king, right, Scout? You know you're the king of the spot. This is your kingdom. You're just living in it. Kingdom of cats. All right, let's turn this around. You can actually start moving this and rotating it now. It's nice to go vertical. I'm running, as you can tell in this apartment, I'm running out of horizontal space, so it's nice to like start going vertical. Amizu says it's top notch. The washer is necessary. You think the wing nut and washer go on the other side? Well, according to the instruction booklet, it's definitely on top. And I think the reason being is there's actually a, you know, you're not trying to hold it together because it's a stopper. So like there's a stopper that goes down and there's like a little, there's seams inside, but it's not meant to like be stopped from the bottom and being pulled out. It's meant to be stopped from the top from going down further. That's what if I had to explain the science of it, that's what I would assume. If I was to explain the engineering and design of it. And you know, like, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a, you know, instructional book designer, I'm not a wood crafts person. But here's the thing, if I'm trying to explain something, you know, isn't it great when a designer can and a crafts person can make something so easy that, you know, so intuitive that you can kind of like be like, oh yeah, now I get it, right? I get why that person, the designer, made that design choice. Scott, get, come on, pretend like I own this place, please. Hey, come on, Scout. Don't go on the tools. Go. Having kittens is being able to just like make random noise, like oh no, and you just do that all day, but no one ever listens to you. That's what having cats is. Just making weird noises all day long, trying to keep your cats from doing stuff, but they never listen to you. That's kittens. I guess that's cats in general. Yeah, this is not, you know, that is one thing. This is not something that is easy to take apart if you ever need to. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, how will I possibly move this? This is a permanent fixture in a house. You can possibly take it apart, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. You basically have to find a way. You have to find a way to transport it. So, you know, if you plan on moving anytime soon, this is not the easel for you, unless you have a way to transport it. So I did see another model that looked like you could pack it up pretty easy, like you could fold it and put it up against the wall. But it was a much smaller easel, so I didn't think it would be like really necessary. Honestly, this is way more easel than I need for at least a year or two. I can't see myself getting into any paintings that big for a while. Like, it's gonna be that big for a while. But you never know. I mean, time goes by fast, right? I could do a 36-inch one, but working on paintings goes by fast. So the way I like chose to progress my paintings, I do like 20 to 30 paintings. Well, anywhere, like, let's just say 15, around anywhere from like 10 to 30 paintings at any specific size before I move on to another size. And I've moved up since to 24 by 36. 24 by 36 paintings. So we're moving along. We've gotten, you know, we're getting a little bigger. But, you know, the standard sizes go up from there, right? Like, as soon as you go 24 by 36, the next one starts to be 4 feet, and it goes 5 feet. And I buy my canvases commercially, right? I don't make all my own canvases. I know, you know, some artists frown upon that. Some artists frown if you don't make your own paints and make your own canvases and you know, pull the iron ore out of the mountains by yourself. You know, some artists really frown upon that if you don't do all that stuff yourself, and pull the cadmium out of the ground, and you know, hire a mining team to figure out how to mine the ore, and then find a grinder to crush the cadmium metals into a fine dust. And if you don't grind it yourself and create your own paint, I know there are some artists that frown upon that. But or make your own canvases, but I don't make my own canvases. Therefore, I must not be a real artist. I must be a fake artist. That's my sarcasm, by the way. Amazon viewers, my sarcasm is showing. I know a lot of people don't like sarcasm. But you know, for the viewers on Amazon, I just want to share that my streaming style was mostly from YouTube. That's where I also stream as well. And you know, I share this like stream of consciousness way of creative efforts. So sometimes things come out, but I like to, you know, share that because I like to poke fun at the doubts, right? Make fun of the doubts that you have or I have. You know, these it's like insecurities, right? I don't know how to make a canvas, therefore make my own canvas. Therefore, am I a real artist? I don't know. And I think when you really get into the mind of people that make and sell their own works, you can really get some insight into like what your limiting beliefs are. You know, what's your self-limiting what you say to yourself that limits you. You know, some people might think that they can't sell artwork because they didn't go to art school. Some people might think that they went to art school, therefore, you know, their art must be so good that they're a failure if they, you know, try to make art that's avant-garde, right? Like they're so, like they can't see themselves making avant-garde art or something. And then some people, like, I've had all sorts of doubts, right? Or beliefs. And I think the best way to tackle them, and this is for like any area of life, not just creative, is to, you know, think about it, address it, and make fun of it. But I've made it a part of the craft, the art, the live stream, the performance of it, to share mine. We'll see where all that goes, if it goes anywhere, or if it's just nonsense, you know? And Omizu has said a couple things, but I am really in deep with this twisting. It takes about 5 minutes of twisting for each of these. I feel like I'm playing with a fidget spinner. Anybody who needs a fidget spinner can definitely benefit from this activity. I want to get it just low enough to where, you know, if I really want to, I just have to screw it a little bit lower. You know what how they should have designed this, if I was to think critically how this could have been designed a little better. And I don't know if this would actually work, but maybe make this screw. So let's say here, right? Let's actually look at this. I'm just thinking, I love thinking like design and stuff. So, you know, if this could have been designed better, this is like 5-6 inches of like screwing, twisting that I have to turn. And that's a lot of twisting. And so what it does is it goes through this gap, right? So you can see right here, there's a little gap, and I have to twist it all down. I feel like there should be like a thin gap, maybe like, you know, like a smooth area that's thinner that you could just slide through, like this gap right here that you could just slide through, because it's really unnecessary for the middle part. And then I don't know, maybe there's a way to design it so that, you know, it's just this top half or like the bottom half or something. Or maybe, you know, there's like I feel like there's an area that could have been split, so you don't have to screw it all the way, so you don't have to do as much twisting as I'm doing, which I think that could be annoying, but I don't really even I don't plan on using these little leg pieces, like these little pegs at all, but you never know. I feel like they could give some added stability. I mean, that's what they're there for, is to give stability. So that's 100% that can happen. But it's exactly what it'll do. But then again, you know, maybe it is necessary to have threads all the way up rather than having a missing area. This is definitely something I would probably only do, like, willingly be able to do a few times. This twisting is just getting to me. How much twisting do I need to do? My goodness. Let's go. Twisting. But here's the great thing is I think everybody has a family member that would be willing to do the construction of their easel. This was fun, but now that I'm near the end, I'm ready to be finished with this. And honestly, I feel like this section of what I'm doing isn't even really necessary, because I don't think I'll actually use these little peg areas, but maybe I will. I don't know yet. We'll see. At least it's pretty easy. I know Mizu's trying to say stuff, and I'll get to you in a second, but let me do this. Let me finish this idea. What's the overall construction time so far? 3 hours? 3-hour construction time for this? Wow. Alright. Not bad. Went by pretty quick. It's only felt like 2 hours, which isn't too bad. It could be worse. You could be waiting at a DMV. That would suck. Who actually likes DMVs? Nobody likes DMVs. I will say though, I feel like DMVs have gotten better since after COVID. Because I think like during COVID, they realized how much update needs to be made to technology as far as the DMV goes. But I feel like without COVID, nothing would ever change. We wouldn't have, online renewals. We'd still be waiting in line at a DMV to get a renewal. So for that, I am grateful for. Okay, one last part, people. One last part to all of this. One final touch. And it is this. Number 14, I don't really know what it does. I'm honestly confused about the point of it. But here we are, anyway. Here we are. It's a dance. Moving with this thing is a dance, baby. It is a dance. Dance with me. So this piece, this last screw, I don't actually know what it does. Do I christen it with a bottle of wine? You know what? I do have some extra wine from my art show the other day. I had a art show that was hosted, but I had to bring, drinks and other goodies. And I got a bunch of wine. And although some people came, not too many people came, which means I have a lot of extra wine, which I may or may not drink. I don't drink. I'm not much of a drinker. I don't drink very often, if at all. This screw is the last one, and I don't know what it does. I don't know the point of this screw. I don't know the purpose. I'm confused. But I'm just going to jam it in here anyway. Maybe it's just for look. Maybe it's just decoration. This is the only piece that I can't quite figure out. Maybe just to keep certain, I guess it's maybe just to keep certain things from going too high or something. I don't know. That must be it. It's to prevent this piece from going further than it's supposed to. Maybe. It's a safety measure. It just feels like the most random screw, because I know this one stops it from doing something. It helps to stop it from sliding. But this one is just, maybe it's just look. It looks nice, right? Just to have this one little bolt there. Is there such thing as a decorative bolt or a decorative nut? Or is someone that designs stuff like this, do they think about that, or are they totally focused on just absolute efficiency and effectiveness? I don't know. But here we go. Let's see. This piece still slides, right? Okay, here we go. We got the slidey. All right, let's put our stuff away now, and then we're gonna test out. We're gonna do a little testability of this. A little testing. No, I should keep the big Ziploc bag for our tools here. Twist the turny. Okay. What's up, bud? All right, now let's turn this baby around. Yes. Now I gotta paint right up all here, right? We'll use our imagination. And let's just see the dimensions of everything. So, as far as I know, this piece, pull this little notch right here. It's not working right now. Uh-oh. It's falling apart. No. Stop. Why is it falling apart? Oh, come on. Why is it not going? Oh, because this is locked. Oh, right. Ah, there we go. It's just heavy. All right. Let's see. All right. So at first I'm probably gonna do. Oh wait, that's why, because this has too much pressure, so it's putting a lot of pressure on the stopper there. There we go. Okay, so let's try now. What was that? Ah, there we go. So you just got to get used to some of the pieces, but let's see. So that's probably a good height for some of my current paintings. Let's go. Let's go like this. We're gonna pop this area up a little bit. A lot of pieces. A lot of moving pieces. But it helps keep it all sturdy, right? Okay. This is really high. Just kind of loosen that up. Yeah, this is still much higher than I'm gonna need. Let me see. So there's definitely gonna be a learning curve to using this. And let's see the current size painting that I have that's ready that I can actually paint on. Let's grab it. So it's pretty small compared to what I can use. Excuse me. And then let's see, I got a 24 by 36 canvas here. You know what? It is nice to have like, a bit of extra space. So how much space do you really need? I don't know, but here's the thing. I mean, it's nice to be able to fit like two of these almost on the same thing. And then as you get bigger canvases, it's probably more than I definitely need right now, but gotta plan for the future. I know Mizu does paintings of this mass, this dimension. He has a huge masterpiece going. No, this is just me working. But it is nice that your header should come down. Yeah. My header should come down. You know what? This is as far as the header comes down. The header does not come down any further. Unless I'm doing something here. Let's see how low. I think that's as low as the header goes. So this piece goes like that. That's as low as the header goes. Oh no, wait, no, the header can't come down. What am I saying? I'm confused. This is like new technology. New technology. Oh, it's too tall for me. I'm gonna have to stand on a stool. There we go. Just planning for the future. Safety. Alright, here we go. There we go. The header does come down. What was I saying? My goodness. I just don't know. I've been using an instruction booklet for the past 3 hours that trying to figure out things on my own just isn't working. Alright, so here we go. This is look at this. This is even more width than I need because this is made for big canvases. My canvases are actually not that large. But we're at a good start. This is 3 feet. So this is 3 feet. So figure out how to make this all work. But here you go. All right, meeting. This little chip here. There's a little chip here. Hopefully it doesn't cause issues. I'll probably never even notice it. But let's see, what's a good height, honestly. My other easel, I would always start about here. I paint standing. So I think as far as the height goes, I'm gonna paint standing. This should come up a little bit. This is actually pretty good. Maybe I'll that's cool. That came up a little bit. Let's make sure all our knobs are good so it doesn't just start flipping in the middle of the night. And here's the thing, I gotta remember that I have cats. Sadly, I can't keep this horizontal because the cat will inevitably leap on top of it if they don't jump on it here, which they inevitably will. But at least so here's a funny thing. This canvas isn't anything bigger than I've painted before, but the fact that I'm working, I have to use a stool to reach the top of this. I actually feel like I'm painting a much bigger painting. It's like an illusion. I feel like I'm working on massive projects, even though, I've definitely done this before. Painting at this size, but only horizontally. So here we go, we've gone vertical. Let's go ahead and push this toward the viewer here. All right, let's see how this looks. I've leveled up. Oh, Master Omizu has said that I have leveled up. So there we go. We've leveled up to a more serious canvas. What should I put in here? Paints, right? What? I should put my favorite paints in there. I'm really gonna have to figure out my space now because should I ruin this and stick my mineral spirits here? No, my mineral spirits won't even fit. Mineral spirits don't fit. I think the space is really only designed for paints, right? Oh, I didn't even think about this. So this is going to be my biggest challenge, is not having my easel or my palette. Oh. That's the hard thing about changing up the way you do things. Sometimes you change things up. More things change than you're necessarily ready for. Oh yeah, I got a white here. Omizu says I leveled down. Yes, I've leveled down. I don't know what to do. Well, I have my space next to me. I might have to use that as my palette. Well, what I really should have, if I was like, a super pro artist, is I would have a table in front of me that I could work on. And maybe that's what I should look for next. But yes, I have a rolling stand, but I do have a rolling stand. I might just have to make more use of it, right? I just gotta make more use of it. But I think for now, let's go ahead and push this back so everybody together. See how this looks all set up and everything. It's pretty good, right? Just this nice easel. Supposedly this goes up to, I can't remember if it was 86 inches. So more than 4 feet. Well, 86. Alex, 12 times 6. 12, 60.
12 times 6 is 72.
72. So more than 6 feet. So I can make a painting more than 6 feet, hypothetically. But that'll require a lot of work. If anybody needs a full body portrait and is under the 6 feet tall, which is pretty much the majority of people on the planet, then hit me up. And honestly, I think this goes up to 86, which means it's another 7 feet. So if anybody's under 7 feet and wants a full body portrait, let me know. I think that's pretty much 99.999% of the entire world. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna keep painting tonight. We're not gonna do a painting tonight. I have a big painting that I got to start tomorrow. But it was nice. This was the artwork, right? The artwork was the construction of this, getting ready, leveling yourselves up. And it's not just the idea that you buy something new, fun and flashy or whatever. Like nobody's actually gonna see this, but it's not the idea of just buying something new and flashy and bigger, but of pushing yourself through however means necessary to get to that next level, whatever that means, right? For me, that's pushing myself to challenge myself with bigger and bigger paintings, because bigger paintings are more challenging. Unless you're just doing abstract. Not only like if you're doing abstract, you get more space to work with, you get more space to express. If you're doing portraits, you have to be able to learn how to work with more paint. And although it might be and like working with certain features and proportions and all that, so pushing yourself to paint bigger is for me personally, how I've chosen to modify my progressions. But obviously, you gotta do the work. Not just get the stuff, but do the work. So there we have it. What's great is I can wrap up my nights and just kind of like maneuver this out of the way. So my last canvas was constantly in the way because I had like a foot area. I had like this little like leg that would always stick out and people would always trip over it. But nay anymore. That's it. Here we go. We're done for the day. That was the setup of the meet-in. Mr. Resurrect Michael. Where's Michael? He's gone now. Yeah, so now I can actually finally do life-size portraits. That's exciting. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to do a full-size self-portrait. And here's the thing, like, this is a 3-foot canvas. It's not that much bigger. I don't need that much. It's not, like, I have painted paintings this size. And it's only another, 3 feet to get a full 6 feet and be able to fit, at least, I could fit myself on a 6-foot canvas. But if you're like 5'9", you might fill the whole thing. But if you're standing from away, I can do a full-size canvas now. That's exciting. That I can already like envision it. It's exciting. It's nice when you can, do an activity, do a craft, do something that like, it's just so interesting to be able to see yourself doing it, right? Because like, there's all these things that we do in life, right? Like we might have a job, we might have like, a creative pursuit that we're not really into, but we just do it anyway. Or we might have like a goal, but sometimes you can't really see that goal, right? Like, have you ever had something where you really want it, but you couldn't really imagine yourself having it? That's like a challenge. That's a problem. But like, if you can actually envision yourself and like imagine yourself doing things like for me, it's a bigger painting. I feel that's a powerful thing. I think that means that you're on like the right track or path towards something, which is why I enjoy painting so much, because it's so like visually obvious to me what, it's just like, it's almost like I'm like seeing what I'm going to be doing. Whereas, a lot of things in my life, I've definitely been in places where I'm like, okay, I can't see myself getting that promotion. I'm not too sure. I can't see myself doing that job. I can't see myself, meeting that person, but I can see myself doing this and this other thing and this other thing and all these other great things. And, it's great when you can kind of like find that alignment, which, this is more of like a personal growth, motivational talk, what I'm sharing right now. But, yeah. All right. Being able to visualize your future is important. Visualizing your future, all the things that are involved. All right. Well, anyway, enough talk. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for being here.